Hallelujah.
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 Before we go any further, we're going to start out with tefillah or prayer. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Elohim Abraham, Elohim Yitzchak, Elohim Israel. Great is your name and worthy to be praised, O Most High. We say Torah, Yah, for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Torah, Yah, for letting us know that you are God, and beside you there is no other God, O great King. Torah, Yehovah, for being the source of all of our resources, O great King. Torah, Yehovah, for having mercy upon the nation of Israel. Torah, Yehovah, for opening up our eyes to the truth, O great King. Use us as instruments, use us as tools to spread your word, O great King. O Heavenly Father, we humbly ask that you watch over those brothers and sisters, those that know themselves and those who do not. Bless them, O great King. Heal them, those that may be hurting physically, spiritually, mentally, or emotionally, O great King, for you are the healer of healers. And we trust in you with a perfect trust and a perfect faith, O great King. O Heavenly Father, I ask that you watch over our loved ones. Watch over our brothers and sisters who may be locked up, O great King. Give them strength, O Heavenly Father. Smile down upon them, O great King. I ask that you watch over the leadership of Israel. Watch over the elders of Israel. Watch over the brothers and sisters that call your name in truth, O great King. Watch over Israel in the four corners of the earth, the north, the east, the west, and the south, O great King. I ask that you watch over our brothers and sisters in Big and Dot, O great King. Let that house be rebuilt even better than before, Wayikra-HE. Give them some sort of comfort, Wayikra-HE. O Heavenly Father, I ask that you watch over them because they may be hurting, O great King. I ask that you watch over Shema Israel. Watch over the leadership of Shema Israel. Watch over Chief Principal Benzaboon, O great King. Inscribe his works, inscribe his righteousness, inscribe his deeds in the book of life, O great King, if it be your will. For you are God from the rise of the sun to the going down thereof. Hallelujah. 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 Amen. First of all, giving all thanks and honor to the God of our forefathers. Elohim Abraham, Elohim Yitzchak, Elohim Israel. That's the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. The great, mighty, and revered God, the Most High God, who indeed is our Creator, our Maker. He is indeed our owner and our possessor of all things and everything. Thanking the Most High God for waking us up and breathing the breath of life into our bodies, O great King. Thanking the Most High God for giving us all of our faculties, things that we take for granted, like our eyesight, our arms, our legs. For there are people that do not have arms. There are people out there that do not have legs. We just humbly thank the Most High God for breathing that breath of life into us, because we see that people are dying to the left and to the right at young ages. Today I found out Craig Mack died and he was only 46 years old of heart failure. So what does that teach us is that tomorrow is not promised to us, Israel. So let's thank the Most High God, those who are just learning and those that have been in this way and known themselves for some time. May the Most High God renew your strength and renew your zeal and renew your fire. Thanking the Most High God for just being God. Next, giving respect, honor, and allegiance to the leader of Shema Israel, Chief Principal Benzaboon, asking that the Most High God continue to guide him, shield him, and bless him with ample substance. Asking that the Most High God continue to bless him with zeal, continue to bless him with physical strength and spiritual strength to continue to battle and try in his best attempt to wake up the masses, to wake up the people. Thanking the Most High God for his life. Thanking the Most High God for his leadership. Thanking the Most High God for coming up under Shema Israel and a leader like Chief Principal Benzaboon. For him having a hand in molding me and all the other great men out there also. Giving respect to my mother, to my father. Asking that the Most High God continue to bless them. Thanking the Most High God definitely for my mishpacha, my family. There are so many people out there that want husbands. There are so many brothers out there that they want a wife. And I thank the Most High God for blessing me with a family, for blessing me with Princess Nishlackyah, asking that the Most High God continue to guide her and bless her works. Thanking the Most High God for my Isha, my wife, Princess Nakamiya, asking that the Most High continue to bless her and her deeds. Thanking the Most High God for my daughters, my oldest that's sitting to the left of me. Nishlackyah. Thanking the Most High God for my middle child, Haftorah, and my youngest, Naphtali. Those are blessings. And a blessing is watching your child grow up in this way of life. I thank the Most High God for her spirit. For any time I tell her to read, it's never an attitude. She's ready. For her reading for her mothers, and for her being my reader tonight. I thank the Most High God for her zeal, for her actually sitting down and being able to break down God's word as well and come up and speak. That in itself is nothing but the Most High God. It's the Most High God and his blessing, not so much the works that we put in, but it's the Most High God that does these things. And she's not perfect, neither are we perfect, but I thank the Most High God for her. And I pray that she continues to walk in this way of life, because we have seen so many parents put their all into their children, and then the children decide to go by the wayside. So I ask that the Most High God bless my household of Wayikra-HE. Lala Told family, it's an honor and a blessing to stand before you. Ask that the Most High God continue to bless our family online. Because like when I was speaking to Chief Prince, I said we really do have a congregation online. You start getting used to seeing some of the names like Global Purpose, some others that may slip my mind. But I thank the Most High God for this. I thank baht Israel. I thank the Most High God for you all. And I pray that the Most High God blesses you all in your walk with him. Now, without further ado, we're going to get into this. The time is approaching, family. That's why this Torah portion, well, before I go to the Torah portion, you know what I always do? I always tell you the day's date, because it's imperative that we keep up. And right now that the sun is down, it's the 27th of the 12th month. The 12th month being Adar, the year 5778. The Torah portion that we're in is Wayikra. Wayikra is Hebrew for he called. And that, who is that he that we're talking about? The Most High called. The Most High called unto Luke. He called unto Moshe Rabbeinu. May his memory be blessed. Moses, our teacher at that time. You will find that in Leviticus chapter 1. Going all the way to chapter 5, stopping at verse 26, is that portion of Wayikra. Me, like I said, I've been doing the Torah portions for so long for the last couple of years that now I've taken a different route this year, and that route is the Haftorah portions that I'm going to talk about for this time. Family, we're coming up on a time that's close, where our redemption, our declaration, our Independence Day, our New Year, so many things that's rolled up in that month of Abib, that first month, which comes in Friday night, which will be a new moon service also. Do not only get excited about that new moon. Get excited about it, yes, but remember, like I said, since I've been doing them, take time out to acknowledge and thank God that you have made it from one month to another, because that's what our forefathers have done, and that's what the Most High calls, even though it's not a holy day. I'll show scriptures where things have stopped on that day just to pay respect to God for seeing that month. The Haftorah will be found in Isaiah chapter 43, verse 21. And we will go to Isaiah chapter 44, stopping at verse 23. There's another Torah portion that some people may read, which goes more in line. Well, I wouldn't say more in line, but it goes into the sacrifices, just like it does in Leviticus. And that can be found in Ezekiel chapter 45, starting at verse 18, going to Ezekiel chapter 46, stopping at verse 15, if you want to really read about the sacrifices and so forth. But I chose the Haftorah portion of Isaiah chapter 43, starting at verse 21, and I'll tell you why. In a couple of days will be our new year. That's when we can say Happy New Year. That's when we get excited. Even though it's on the Shabbat, Akre Shabbat, go out, have a good time. Because those of us that were not born into law, and when we didn't know that we had a calendar that came from God, when we followed the Gregorian calendar, we look forward to December. And then January 1st, we look forward to watching that ball drop, making our New Year's resolutions. But now we have a time that the Most High God has set and ordained for the nation of Israel, his people. This is when people are supposed to hear you saying Happy New Year. And in saying that, they're going to say, what are you talking about? Now is the time that they can research and see that the beginning of months is our new year, our bead, spring forth, button, when things start to come to life, not when things are dying out. Because the Most High God is all about life. With that, family, I'm honored to always be able to speak about the Most High God. Once again, I thank you all for your patience. As far as the way the Torah portions have been going, especially if I'm late because of the hectic schedule. But being tired is no excuse when it comes to the service of God. And we're going to see that. And this right here, during this time with this portion, I pray that I'm able to motivate. I pray that I will be able to galvanize you in your walk with the Most High God. So any words that I say, if I mislead you, if I'm wrong, may the Most High God humbly forgive me. Because woe unto the shepherd that leads the flock astray. Even if you do it by mistake, man, you're held accountable because life and death is in the tongue. And it's no light matter. Nor do I want to lead anybody that comes and hears this the wrong way because you're my family. Though I may not know you, I see your names on Shabbat. And if I don't know you and you know one of the brothers and the sisters, you're my family. So we at Shema Israel do our best to speak the truth. So I'm going to get into it. Isaiah chapter 43, and we're going to start at verse 41. But before my daughter Nishlackyah starts reading, we're in Wayikra-HE called, the Most High called unto Moses. The book of Leviticus is a funny book the more that you start to walk in this way of life. And what I mean by that walk is that you see in Leviticus, the first 5 chapters are mostly sacrifices. Those sacrifices, the Most High God is teaching the priest and teaching the high priest what needs to be done for the sanctification and the glorification of God's name. Do not just get caught up that there are so many laws that's addressing the priest or the high priest, because in essence, you can say that's addressing the priest and the high priest, but in this day and time when knowledge is so few and far in between, and those that know, we have to be those priests, those judges in the eyes of the nation. So it's good for us to know these things. But also, the book of Leviticus is such a great and a precious book because it helps each one of us individually with our walk towards the Most High God. The Most High God gives us instructions that if we walk this way, it allows us to get closer to God. He gives us a dietary law for the vessel, which is your body, that knows that the cleaner your body is, the closer your walk and your spirituality can be with the Most High God. So we say Torah for that. We have sexual morale laws, things that we cannot do, things that we can do to stay in accordance with the Most High God. So the book of Leviticus or the book of Wayikra is an instruction guide, and it's helping us in our walk, in our service to the Most High God. That's what that book embodies. Though a lot of us just look at, there are so many laws for the priest and the high priest. Yes, there are. But there are laws for every man and every woman in there. Because the holy days are for everyone. The Shabbat is for everyone. Doing right by your brother and sister, those laws are for every person to help them become righteous. And that's what we thank the Most High God for being able to read this and see that it's just not black and white, but read it and get some understanding from it. So let's read Isaiah chapter 43, starting at verse 21. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. This people have I formed for myself.
Now, right there, let's get hyped when we read this because, man, when I start to study, I have books in front of me, and I thank God for that because that comes from my teachers, the great men that came before me. They taught us how to study. And that's what we have to do for our young people. Before I start to go into that, I'll just like to take the time out to say I thank God for Shema Yisrael and what I'm seeing with the Shabbat school. When you see children that's able to read and be able to grasp the Hebrew, it touches my heart, man, because that's our future. Seeing children be able to go up and speak about the Almighty, it touches my heart. I love to see that because my heart are with those children. So I would like to take time out to give much respect to Wayikra-HE for the work that he's putting in with the Hebrew aspect. I like to give much respect to Prince Yakael for the work that he's putting in. I'm hearing about those Shabbat tests. And I thank God because it's forcing the children to study, but the parents to be there also. I thank God for every single one of you that's putting your hands in to help with our children. I thank God. I think Sister Namala, she's involved. May the Most High God bless your hands, sister. Princess Tahila, may the Most High God bless your hands. And may all of your works be counted as righteousness in the upliftment of our children. I thank God for that Shabbat school because we've produced good children. We've produced children that if they stay on that path will be good teachers, better teachers than us, and we're supposed to strive for them to supersede us. I thank God for that. I thank God for SOG. I thank God for Prince Nathaniel having the zeal to be able to get men together in the service of God. That in itself is a blessing because leadership really can't be taught. It's something that's in you. Whether it's the leadership of a section, a congregation, that's something that has to be a part of it. I thank the Most High God for the positivity that's coming out of Shema Yisrael. I hear about the sisters sitting down. May the Most High God bless you all in your understanding. And let that get out to galvanize and motivate sisters to sit down to study together with your walk with the Most High God. Because at the end of the day, when it's judgment time, you have to stand before the Almighty. Your husband cannot stand here before you. That's why I push and I focus so hard on teaching these girls. Because they have to know Torah just like the men have to know Torah. You just can't focus on one and negate the other, and that's something that we try not to do. So now it says in Isaiah 43, read that again, starting at verse 21.
This people have I formed for myself. They shall show forth my praise.
Now, this is what you start to get excited about. This is the prophet Isaiah talking on the behalf of the Most High. But listen to what the Most High God has said. I'm going to read it from my book because it's a little different and it touched me when I read it. It said, I fashioned this people for myself, that it might declare my praise. This is the Most High God saying he fashioned this people for himself. What people is he talking about? He's talking about the nation of Israel. He fashioned and formed this people for what? It said that it might declare his praise. So, do you realize that each one of us that weren't born in law, that were woken by the Most High, and that wool was taken off our eyes, the Most High God fashioned us for himself. The Most High God fashioned us to show the world his praise. So we have a job to do. How do you show the world God's praise? Because that's what you were fashioned for. That's why we were awoken to this when so many people just read black and white and cannot understand. This is why the Most High God gave us that baht when we walk. This is why the Most High God gave us that style when we dress. This is why the Most High gave us that slang. This is why the Most High God gave us that rhythm that the whole world copies off of. Everybody takes from us. The cultural appropriation is so real. People walk like us, talk like us. Everything they do to mimic us. And it's not fair because we're in captivity. We see it, they get passes with stuff we don't. Other nations can wear braids, and it's okay, we wear it, they comment, and it's ghetto. But these are things that started with us. Because the Most High God fashioned us to show the world what his praise looks like. How do we show the world the Most High God's glory? By our actions, by our words. Words are important, but actions. People look at actions. But being that life and death is in the tongue, our words have to be godly words. That's why we have to conduct ourselves and watch what we say and how we carry ourselves. Our dress. People are supposed to see godliness in our dress. People are supposed to see godliness in the way that we deal with them. Why? Because the job that the Most High God, the whole reason that he woke us up was for his praise. Go.
But thou hast not called upon me.
We fell. The Most High God said, I fashioned this people for myself that it might declare my praise. But thou did not call me. We got cute. We got fancy. The Most High God gave us an inch and we took a mile. And we're still doing that. But it's okay, because with this harsh talk, there's hope at the end. Because that's why I always bring this, because I see the greatness in our people, even if our people don't see it. I see the greatness in it. I see it. I thank the Most High God, and the Most High God, may he bless Nasi Yashuvel. May he bless Nasi Rav Zuri down with what they're doing in Goshen. That's action. Because you have to look at it. They say prayer without works is void. But works without prayer, without putting God in it, is void also. So this is why I support Goshen in everything that is big once started small. So prayerfully it will get better every single year with the support of the nation, because we need a community bad. We need brothers and sisters that's willing to set that off. And I pray that the Most High God gives them the zeal to see it through. Because living in the South is hard, because you have to deprogram your children. Because they have Christmas, they have Easter, they have so many things that you have to worry about as a parent when you send your children out to these schools. That's why you talk to them. Teachers don't care, but you keep telling your children to speak up. My girls have mouths on them. They'll tell them quick, we don't celebrate Christmas. We don't do this. Teachers may say they don't care, but at least our children are speaking. That's the zeal that we have, because children don't have fear. When you start to program them that this is what it is, they will speak that out there. Let the world know that they're different, that we're different, but we failed because we did not call on the Most High God. But it's okay, because with this, at the end, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So let's use this portion to motivate us.
O Jacob, but thou hast been weary of me, O
Now,
Jacob.
it says, O Jacob, O Israel, us. This is what the Most High God is saying. We grew tired of the Most High God. Why did we grow tired of him? Because let's keep it real. A lot of us now in this captivity, sometimes we waver and say, is it really a blessing in keeping all these laws? We grew weary of the Most High God. And that's what this time that's coming up, Pesach, is about, in Kagmatso. We grew tired of the Most High God. We grew tired of giving him his praise. And that's the same thing that's happening today, and that's something that we have to stop. It behooves us to stop that for the betterment of ourselves. Because say the Most High God got tired of us, where would the nation of Israel be? When he turned his back on us, he turned his back on us and let nations deal with us only but so far, because we're still here. But think about that if God got tired of us. If Yehovah Sabaoth, the God of hosts, got tired of us. The Most High just accused us and said we grew weary of him. And are we not guilty of that now? How many times have we went out to work all day, 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, go to school, and then when you come home, you're too tired to put work in towards God? That's what this captivity does. It wears you out. How many times have we went to work all week and we said, you know what? I'm not going to teachers today. Why? Just because I'm physically tired. And we start to find ways to justify that as being justifiable in missing out on the service of the Most High God, when in all actuality it isn't. Because what does that show us? That we give more strength to the man into captivity than we do to the service of God. And I'm talking to myself also. That's why you have to push. That's why after work, if you have something to do at the camp, push yourself with your congregation to go do it. Don't fall short, because that's what the Most High God is talking about. You grew weary of me. You grew tired of me, yet I designed you for my praise. We have a job to do. Do not let society separate you with your walk from the Almighty. Do not get so wrapped up in school that you forget to read the book. I was 15 when I came in. I was doing homework from homework, reading the book. Reading the book so much that I almost forgot about homework. But I had teachers to reel me in and say, it's good to engulf yourself in this, but life is about balance. My teachers taught me the importance of good grades in school. Man, we would have to bring report cards. If our report cards were messed up, we didn't have a good time at sleepovers. We couldn't hang out because we had to prove ourselves. We had to earn what we got. Read.
Thou hast not brought me the small cattle of thy burnt offerings, neither hast thou honored me with thy sacrifices. I have not caused thee to serve with an offering, nor weary thee with incense.
The Most High God said, I didn't even call you to serve with an offering. He didn't require all of that from the nation. He didn't burden us with that. He wanted to see us loving one another. He wanted to see us displaying righteousness. He wanted us to allow ourselves to be vehicles for his glory. And that's where we're failing at. But this is why we have the breath of life in us, and it's going to be reversed. And those who know the Most High God, when you read this and hear that the Most High God have designed you for his praise, how can you walk away from that? How can you say the heck with holy days? How can you know that and now you question your walk with the Almighty when the Most High blessed you with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and said that you were created for his praise? How do you walk away from that? That's an agreement. The Most High, what's the meaning of life? That's a question that people always ask. Well, what the heck is the meaning of life? We have the answers. To fear God and keep his commandments. So that's the whole duty of man. And then you can even add on to glorify God. I fashioned the people for myself that it might declare my praise. So what's the meaning of life? To praise Jehovah, to show godliness to people. That don't make you less of a person. That don't make you a weak man, a weak woman, a weak girl, a weak boy. Show godliness. Show it. Respect people. Don't be one of those that talks to the CEOs and walk by the janitors. Treat everybody with the same respect. We are a godly people. It's time for us to show that godliness, not only to the outside world, but how we deal with one another. And I'm talking to myself also, because eventually we're all going to have to deal, because everybody has a piece to this puzzle to make it click. Carpenters, electricians, in captivity, you have people that's been set up in government places that can help with things, the medical field. We need people in everything that can pull strings and that have connections everywhere. Or that's in certain places that just can learn laws of the land that you bring back and teach your people. Read.
Thou hast brought me no sweet cane with money, neither hast thou filled me with the fat of thy sacrifices. But thou hast made me to serve with thy sins. Thou hast wearied me with thy iniquities.
God says, but you burdened me with your sins. You worried me with your iniquities. We burden the Most High God. And the reason we burden the Most High God is because he loved us that much. Let this seep in, people. Let this seep in, that the iniquities of our forefathers and still the things that we do. Do we put our all into serving God? Chief Prince told me something once and it stuck with me. And you start to realize throughout life, the things that actually stick with you, with the conversations that you have with your teachers. So that's why it's good to be up under your teachers. I never met Chief Amos, may his memory be blessed. But I hear brothers speak about him and the wise sayings and the things that he used to say. That's why it's important to stick around your teachers, to respect your teachers. Do we serve God with all our heart? Chief Prince told me, he said, the best way to give your all to God is always walk with that mind frame of repentance. Because you know that you're ever repentant before the Most High God, because we owe the Most High God. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. We have all committed sins worthy of death. We have all eaten things by mistake that may have been unclean. So when you walk with, I know, Father, the things that I've done, that makes you want to go that much harder. Don't think because you know a little something now that you can poke your chest at. No, because all that you know, we're still worthy of death. That's what keeps you humble. That's what makes you say, you know what, if I gave society 8 hours, I can definitely give some time to God. That's what makes me say I have to go and get up and be at service. Because I can't be too tired to fellowship with brothers and sisters in the house of God. Because we gave our strength to captivity. This is what the Most High said, that we basically forgot about him after he designed us to magnify him.
I, even I am he that blotteth out thy transgressions, for mine own sake.
Now, my book says, I, only I, am the one who wipes away your willful sins for my sake. I, it says, I, only I. That's the Most High, saying I, only I. So now, once again, we see it's only I. We do not need no mediator. It's the Most High God that does this by himself, that wipes away our sins. It's the Most High God that does that. Nobody can down wipe away your sins. The Most High God right here said it's he who wipes away our sins. It's the Most High God that forgives us of our sins. He says only him. So there's no Jesus that died for your sins, that hung up on the cross. You have to talk that, and we can prove it. And enough of the opinions when it comes to that, because we're going to go scripture for scripture. Opinions are like noses, everybody has one. But this great God is the God that lets it be known that him alone does this. You do not need no mediator. That's where we messed up at, and we cut our spirituality and our connection with the Most High God. Whenever you feel you have to go through somebody to get to God, when all you have to do is face the east and talk to the Almighty. When the Most High spoke to Moshe Rabbeinu, may his memory be blessed, did he send a messenger and then that messenger went to him? No. He spoke to Moshe. Moshe spoke to him. To our God, there was no middleman. Thank the Most High God that we know and we can read this where it says I, only I, and understand that part. That if the Most High God does not change, how later on can it go from I, only I, that you have to go through his son to be forgiven by the Father? Let me tell you, if I'm blessed enough to have a son, even with my girls now, let little Nish come and say before to somebody before you speak to my Abba, you have to come speak to me. I say, man, if you don't sit your little behind down and get out the way because it's grown folks talking, that's to say, even if she's grown, I'm never going to say or give her the okay, speak to me. You can't speak to my father. No, because if they're coming to speak to me, you don't intercede between that. So how in the world is it now, or if somebody would come up and say, and address her and not address me, and I'm the father, and they address her first? That's backwards. This captivity has taken away our common sense, even for our respect of God, that we think it's okay to go to the Son before the Father. The Father is the creator. It's the same thing, like if you walk in a house, you're not going to acknowledge her before you acknowledge me. It don't go that way. It says, I, only I. That's the Most High. Read.
and will not remember thy sins. Put me in remembrance. Let us plead together.
It says, put me in remembrance. Let us plead together. The Most High God, and this teaches us the same thing, because we were made in his image. The Most High God is now giving us an opportunity to speak and justify our actions. So what do we take away from that? Because we have to make this book applicable. Everything isn't about a one-sided conversation. You have to listen. Parents just can't talk because they have authority. They have to listen to the children. Husbands just can't talk and never give the wife an opportunity to speak. Why do I say that? Because the Most High God is the creator of the world. And in his case with us, he said, let us talk one to another. Tell me what I've done wrong. That's how great this God is, and that's how we have to be with our humility. Because it's both sides. We speak one to another. But in this case, this is where that dumb silence comes. This is the case right now where everybody that turned their back on the Most High God has to answer. What have the Most High God done that made you feel it's okay to turn your back on him or hang up your fringes? Because you're an Israelite by seed and blood, and now just a rebellious Israelite. How do you justify breaking God's word and his laws presumptuously now? But you have the breath of life. This God is so great that we can go back to God. Torah Yehovah for that. Torah Yehovah for that. Thank the Most High God for that opportunity of repentance. Don't take that light. Read.
Declare thou that thou mayest be justified. Thou first father hast sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Therefore I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to reproaches.
These are judgments that the Most High God has put on us, because it says our fathers erred and betrayed the Most High God. The princes have betrayed the Most High God. So he gave the nation of Israel over to captivity. He gave the nation of Israel over to devastation, only so we can bethink ourselves. Because though we're living in captivity, some of us are still living good. But don't think that just because you may be living good that you're not in captivity. We're still in captivity. We still have to also ask the Most High God to take away the sins of our forefathers. And we've fallen from grace because the Most High God was at least in their midst. So we have work to do. Let's allow ourselves to be a vehicle of righteousness, a vehicle of glory, what we were designed to do. That's why when I look at the videos I get a chance to see of Goshen, it's a lot of work and it's coming from the ground up, but I see the glory in it because it's an Israelite community for Israelites. So everyone that's, once again, putting their hands forth, may the Most High God bless you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And if there's anything I can ever do, I will be there. And my family will be there. Same thing. May the Most High God bless the congregations that still open up on holy days, that still hold true to the culture, that still hold true to dedicating their lives to teaching God's people, because our teachers have seen a lot come and we've seen a lot go. But still knowing the truth is the truth. And you don't err from it. Whether you got one man sitting in the seat or 25 men sitting in the seat. The truth is the truth. Stand the test of time. Read.
Chapter 44. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen.
Now, listen, Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. This is the sweet words. Don't be so upset about the things that's happening in the Most High God, bringing it to your face, the things that we have done. He says, and Israel, my chosen. Do you realize that when you call yourself an Israelite, and that's who you are as a person, not an Afro-American, not black, but you are a people, an Israelite, and your land is Israel, the Most High God chose you. Let that comfort you. Wake up every day knowing that you are chosen of the Most High God. And that when you pray and you ask the Most High God to go before you, things shake. Be confident in that, man. Don't lose that connection with the Most High God.
Thus saith the Lord, that made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant.
Now it says, so says Jehovah, who made you and fashioned you from the womb. He will help you. The Most High God made us. He knew who we were in the womb. He knew where we would be. We have life and death. Choose life that you may live. It's not your intellect that when you heard this, that allows you to get the understanding. It's the Most High God. Don't think it was you, because look at Nebuchadnezzar. When Nebuchadnezzar had to eat as a beast, he was in his right mind, but he had to eat grass. He was humble. He let his hair grow, his nails grew, and he was eating grass like the animals, and he was a king. And the messed up part about it was he was in his right mind. So it's the Most High that controls the mind, because he was doing things like an animal. And this is what we have to realize also. Even with all these sacrifices, when you read in Wayikra, I read something and it made a lot of sense to me with studying. And I thank God for my teachers, because they taught us the importance of studying. Also, it said when you look at the sacrifices, we're not allowed to do sacrifices now. The Most High God said obedience is better than sacrifice. But it said the sacrifices that we can't do physically with animals, it said sacrifice your base and your animalistic ways. We've all done things, and we do things that make you say, yo, you're an animal. You know, this lion said, yo, you're an animal for doing that, or you're a beast. What type of beast are you? Because of the things that you do. And not a beast in a good way, or an animal in a good way. You hear some of the sense like, yo, you're an animal. What's wrong with you? Let's sacrifice those animalistic ways before the Most High. That's what this time of Chag Matzo is about. Getting the leavening out of your house, getting the leavening from around your heart. Let's make right with one another. Let's make right with the Almighty God. Let's make amends with brothers. Let's make amends with sisters. We can do it. Even if things may never be the same no more, you can always say shalom. But say shalom and mean it. And in making amends, it just don't mean coming together and hugging. It means somebody has to be right and somebody has to be wrong in a situation. Somebody has to make an apology and make a first step. And there's nothing wrong with humbling yourself, because you're attempting to repair a breach with God's people. And I'm talking to myself also. Read it.
Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou just you run.
Just rule, whom I have chosen. The Most High God reminds us that we're his servant. And Yeshurun, my darling upright, he comforts us with his words and says, whom I have chosen. He keeps letting us know that we are his chosen people. We cannot continue to go on acting like we're not his chosen people. It's a struggle to be righteous in a world of wickedness. It's a struggle to stand out and not eat what everybody else is eating or drink what everybody else is drinking. We had a meeting and they had all the meats and everything out. I had salad. And it was like, yo, that's all you eating? Yep, that's all I'm eating. You know why? Because I thought about our forefather, the prophet Daniel, may his memory be blessed. That he went to an event, because they put everything out on the spread. You got the ham, the turkey, everything on the same plate. We can't do that. Just give me the salad. That's what history is for. Thank God for our prophet Daniel, may his memory be blessed, because he set the standard and let us know what to do in captivity. That when the food is mixed like that, just give me salad. Give me some water. I'm good. I'll eat when I get home. That's what we have to do. It's not going to kill you, because you do not want to pollute your vessel, because you never know when the Most High God may call upon you or need you for his glorification. Read.
For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground.
It says, just as I pour water upon the thirsty, laying in streams upon the dry ground, so shall I pour my spirit upon your offspring and my blessing upon your children. That's what we have to look for, because we realize that the Most High is the source of our resources. We know that the Most High God said he would do what? Pour water upon the thirsty land. The Most High provides water for lands that are in a drought, and streams upon the ground. It says, so shall I pour my spirit upon your offspring and my blessings upon your children. And that's what we have to look at. Something that, well, when the Most High God says something, it doesn't fall if you allow yourself to receive it. That's what you pray for. You pray for the Most High God to pour his spirit upon your Yeladim, your sons and your daughters. You want to see godliness in them. You want to see works, but you have to cultivate that being the head of your household. You have to cultivate that. If you're a man with a family, cultivate that. Ask my daughter what I had to do. Ask the family. When I had to go clean the camp, ask what happened. It was a family affair. Everybody went. Both wives, when they were available, if both of them wasn't available, one of them was there. But anytime they were both available, the whole family went. Wives, daughters. The little ones sweeping, mopping. Ask Nishlackyah. She can tell them. Every cleanup that it was my turn, guess what? They were there. Because you have to cultivate that relationship and show them that relationship with the Almighty. And show them that their relationship and their service is to God, because that's God's house. When you call upon the name of the Most High God, you have to take time for the upkeep of that place. It's no light thing. So in order for the Most High God to pour that spirit upon your offspring, you have to cultivate your children. Make them say those tefillot, those prayers. Listen to them. Have them get lesson plans together. On Shabbat, talk to them. Teach them Hebrew. Teach them their colors. Give them activities that make them get closer to God. We just can't sleep our Shabbats away. Even if you're at home, you have to get up with those children. Take time out with them. That's why mothers are so important. That's why choosing a wife to have children with is such an important thing. And women choosing a mate to have his children is an important thing. It's a lifelong decision. You want to make sure that though divorces happen, the Most High God doesn't smile down upon them. We have to make sure whom we marry, and even if a divorce is had, that they still hold the standards. And they don't let the standards of serving God fall. If there is a divorce, I should know that if I have to send my son or my daughter over to my ex-wife, God is still going to be served and spoke about. And righteousness is going to be upheld. Sisters, it's the same thing. Before you have a child with the man, it should be, even if you divorce, God forbid that happens, that when you send your boy or you send your girl over there, that he's still instilling godliness in them. We have to cultivate that spirit of our children so the Most High God can pour his spirit upon our offspring. We want to see our offspring speak of God. Hold our culture down. Don't compromise. And no, it's not easy. But you have to tell them the stories that you went through being the only Israelite in school. Because you was an Israelite in 8th grade. We were Israelites. Those that came before me, their sons had hair, long hair. They thought hair was just for girls and they wore beads on it. But we weren't cutting our hair. We were always different. Be strong. Different is in. Different is in. Don't be like everybody else, a clone. Make your own path. That's what Israelites do. And it's not going to be easy. But we have it easy. Our children have it easy. Tell them how Daniel was thrown in the lion's den. Tell them of our forefathers, the Maccabees, may their memories be blessed, that got killed or murdered just for trying to keep God's law. So how do we walk away when times get hard? Our life isn't on the line, man. Our life isn't on the line. Make the most of what you have where you're at. If you have a house of God to go uplift that house. Put some time in. Because I tell you what, I miss having a house of God to go to. But at the same time, I thank the Most High God for giving me the spirit and giving my family the spirit to not forget from whence we came. You know, it's easy to say, you know what? There are no eyes on me. I can get slapped. But guess what? You remember that God is watching. Jehovah is watching. He don't sleep or slumber. And if you're truly dedicated to a place, you fly that flag where you're at, and you still have to remember, like wherever I go, I always remember I'm a representative of Shema. My wives know that where they go, they rep that Shema flag because that's who they are. They have a congregation that have a standard. So no matter where you go, if you're part of a congregation family, keep those standards. If they're righteous standards, keep those standards. Don't let the ball drop and you get slapped. Keep those standards. If you go to another congregation, I will know that they're from Shema. That's how I hold it. Even though I'm in North Carolina, if I walk in a congregation, I represent the standards and the views of Shema Israel. The righteousness that comes out of that. So don't be set to the side and think that the Most High isn't watching or because nobody else is watching. God sees all and knows all. Keep your strength. Ask the Most High to renew your strength. That's why I thank the Most High God for blessing my family and blessing my wives to keep pushing and doing what they're doing with these girls. And Nishlackyah to get up and read, for her to still teach. And so far, almost for 2 years, not to exactly get weak. You miss the place, but you know God is everywhere. You miss your brothers, you miss your sisters, but you know you still have to represent the Almighty no matter where you're at. And when you're separated like that, that's not the time to get weak for those that may not have a place, because there are people online that you may be the only Israelite. But guess what? That's the time when you have to strengthen your walk with the Almighty God, because it's only you. And the Most High God will start blessing you, because even when you're right with the Most High God, even your thoughts shall be established. So you're not doing this in vain. And you're not doing it so people can see it. You're doing this and you're living your life to please the Almighty. And that's where the blessings come in. Read.
I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessing upon thine offspring. And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the water courses. One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel.
And is that not happening? One will say, I am Jehovah's, a child of God. The other will call in the name of Jacob. The history that I've heard is that back in the day, our forefathers used to call themselves, and when I say forefathers, I don't mean our forefathers during the time of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but for this generation, this era's forefathers, the Israelites that came up 60s, 70s, some of them called themselves Jacobites. And then it said, others will surnaame them and will adopt the name of Yisrael. Ready or not, is that prophecy not fulfilled? Because what do we call ourselves? Yisrael. We call ourselves Israelites. So this prophecy is coming to pass. That's why I'm so excited that my daughters didn't grow up with the names of the oppressor. We chose to give them Yisrael as a last name. It's a little more paperwork in the beginning when it comes to filing taxes and so forth like that, but you have to break the chain. All you gotta do is show that those are your children and play on their words, because they asked me, well, why do your children have different names than you and the mother? I said, religious reasons. It's our religious belief. They don't say nothing else after that. We know it's not a religion, but let's talk that talk so they can understand. They back away after that. Our children, and my father was so happy to see that. He said, the generation, he said, I'm alive to see my grandchildren or some of my grandchildren not have the name of their slave master. So that was just something that I decided to do. Well, I should say we decided to do. Because whether we like it or not, those aren't our last names. You can look them up, and most of the time you'll find out that those are slave names. But those that decide to name their children with those names, it's not taking a shot at you. It don't mean my children are any more righteous than yours. Don't mean I'm more righteous than you. Everybody has their own walk, and that was just my personal decision. I love you just the same. And I'm going to call you by your child. When I see you, I see Israel. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Continue.
Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, Jehovah of hosts. I am the first, and I am the last, and beside me there is no God.
I am the first, and I am the last. This is the only Alpha and Omega. They talk about Jesus Christ being the Alpha and Omega. Alpha first, Omega last. God saying, this isn't Jesus talking right here. This is God saying, this is Jehovah, Yah, the King of heaven and earth saying, I am the first and I am the last. And beside me there is no God. There is no God. There is nothing that you can deify with the Almighty. He's the first, he's the last. There is no in between. This right here lets you know that we serve a God that is great. We don't deify anything or any man to couple with the Most High God. He's the first and he's the last, and besides him there is no other God. He knows no other God. If we agree that the Most High God is the beginning, and we agree that Jehovah is the end, if the Most High says that he doesn't know no other God, how can we know a God that the God of heaven and earth, the beginning and in the past, the present, and the future doesn't know? If we can all agree that the God we call on is the past, the present, and the future, how in the heck do we couple anything with the Most High? How does that slip past the Most High and we know it? We know something that God don't know? Ask yourselves that. It's time for us to talk and question. And let's come with scriptures and build. It's not taking shots at anybody. Because we're all brothers and sisters in the same fight. Each one teach one. One hand wash the other and both hands wash the face. And this is what we're here to do. Read.
And who as I shall call and shall declare it, and set it in order for me, since I appointed the ancient people, and the things that are coming, and shall come. Let them show unto them. Fear ye not, neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time, and have declared it? Yea, are even my witnesses. Is there a God beside me?
The Most High God is asking us now, asking everybody that reads this, says, you all are my witnesses. We've seen what the Most High God has done. We've seen that the Most High God has set things in a chain of events to happen. From with Pharaoh, from with Moshe, with his mother, Yocheved let him go, to Yocheved eventually being the wet nurse to Moshe Rabbeinu. May his memory be blessed. From that, we see in the book of Esther that even though God's name isn't mentioned, you see a chain of events that God is all throughout it. Understanding that it's God that does these things. Now, the Most High God said, we are his witness. Then he asked, is there a God besides me? So heck with this believing in multiple gods. We were a monotheistic people. We knew who our God was, who our power was. El Shaddai, God Almighty. Yehoshua, the God of hosts. We knew and we know today who our God is. And we pray to only one God. Not to God and his son. Because Jacob is the Most High God's son. There are so many things we have to question. The Most High God has a son that comes through a birth canal that had to be reared up like a regular baby. Adam and Eve came out as full-grown adults. And then their Bible naysayers that paint pictures and say, oh, where was Adam and Eve's belly button? Well, you nitwit. If they weren't in a womb, they don't need a belly button. They were never in the womb. We know the umbilical cord, when you cut it, that's what feeds and nourishes that child. They were never in the womb, so they don't need a belly button. But ask yourself, the Son of God uses the bathroom on himself, had to be fed. How is that? That's why the Most High God said, we are his witnesses, and said, who else have called these things or can do it? Is there a God besides me? No. Is there a God besides Jehovah? No. Read.
Fear ye not, neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time, and have declared it? Yea, are even my witnesses. Is there a God beside me? Yea, there is no God. I know not any. They make a graven image. Are all of them vanity? And their detectable things shall not profit? And they are their own witnesses? They see not, nor know, that they may be ashamed. Who hath formed a God, or molten a graven image, that is profitable for nothing?
The gods that people make are profitable for nothing. The ones that they make with wood, stone, gold, silver, or even the gods of your heart or your mind. When you put something or someone before the Most High God, you're deifying them. What can they give you that the Most High God can't? They may be able to give you instant gratification because they're right here. But be patient, and that's why I said sit and be still and wait on Jehovah. Because when you be patient and wait, and you realize that everything is in God's time and you don't rush and you push things, the blessing is always great. Wait for it. If you didn't get that job, it wasn't for you. And that's what I always say when I come up here. That's what comforts me in life. If I didn't get that car, guess what? No big deal. It wasn't for me. Because what's for you, nobody can block that, because the Most High God allows that to be your portion. Because once again, always remember, he's the source of all of our resources. Everything comes from the Most High. That's why we have to ever stay mindful of God in everything that we do. That's why when we get an opportunity to do work in God's house, we're supposed to go running to God's house. And if you're old and you can't do it, send your children, because they're up under your roof. Send your children. Teach them the importance of God's house, and that God's house isn't just open on the Sabbath. But there's work that has to be done along with school. Because there's school, but then you have to make time for God. Have your children have their hands in it. Read.
Behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen they are of men. Let them be all gathered together. Let them stand up. Yet they shall fear, and they shall be ashamed together. The smith with the tongs both worketh in the coals, and fashioneth with it hammers, and worketh it with strength of his arms. Yea, he is hungry, and his strength faileth. He drinketh no water, and is faint. The carpenter stretches out his rule. He marketh it out with a line. He fitteth it with planes, and he marketh it out with the compass, and maketh it after the figure of a man, according to the beauty of a man.
Now, the Most High is telling us the things that our people are doing or have done, and saying that it is pointless. The carpenter goes through all of that to make an image in the beauty of a man. Our people are so lost that you see white Jesus in black households. And it's not a race thing, but it's a common sense thing. You go to a white household, I guarantee you won't see a black Jesus with the jerry curl hanging on the wall, or you won't see the black Jesus with the locks hanging on the wall, or even the one with the woolly afro. In the movie Kuta Kinte, shoot, Kuta knew that the God that they were pushing wasn't his God. He had this little thing that said, this is my God. At least it was something that looked like him. That's why you start looking, when you look at movies like Amistad, they start pushing that Christianity on our people. They start looking at the book and looking at the people and start, you can see kind of like putting things together like, hold on. These men are supposed to be good. They look like these men, but they're beating the hell out of us. Be strong, family. Use these words to motivate you. I'm using these words to motivate myself. Thank God and cling on to the Almighty, because there are people out there that do not understand the severity of what they're doing. But you do. That's no light thing. Read.
That it may remain in the house. He heweth him down cedars, and taketh the cypress and the oak, which he strengtheneth for himself among the trees of the forest. He planteth an ash, and the rain doth nourish it. Then shall it be for a man to burn.
Now, let's stop for time's sake. Skip down to verse 18, Nish.
They have not known nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes, that they cannot see.
This is what we have to realize. My book says they do not know, they do not understand. A coating prevents their eyes from seeing and their hearts from comprehending. So that's what's going on out there in the world. When you start to ask yourself, why do these people do, or why are my people doing this? It's because a coating is over their eyes. They don't comprehend or understand what they are doing. That's why I say thank God when I pray for removing the wool off of my eyes. Because now I can see. It's not physically seeing, it's that third eye that the Most High God has awakened, that spiritual side, that people who see this and still say that there are other gods, still say that there's a Jesus, still say that there's a Buddha, when the God of the past, the present, and the future says he don't know any other gods. So there's no Father, no Son, and no Holy Ghost. Who outranks who? Is the Father greater than the Son greater than the Holy Ghost? Does the Holy Ghost outrank the Father? How does this thing go? And it's not to be funny, but I can ask that if I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. And give me an answer with scripture. Because I'll give you scripture on top of scripture why I don't believe in Jesus and why that's not Jesus. The time for fun and games are over. We have to bring the truth to our people, even to our family. But let them start questioning who you are by your actions, by the way you speak. Read.
In their hearts they cannot understand, and none considereth in his heart. Neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burnt part of it in the fire. Yea, also I have baked a bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it. And shall I make the residue thereof of an abomination? Shall I fall down to the stalk of a tree?
Right. We don't even have the understanding to ask ourselves. That's why I said our common sense is lost now in this captivity. That's why we continually have to ask for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because the Most High God can take it from you just like that. That's why when you're teaching, you're not teaching to big yourself up. You're teaching to edify the people. I don't care if my name ever gets mentioned. As long as the people get it, that's what matters. Because the Most High God is so just, you want to get your just due. Just be patient and wait when you're home. Read.
He feedeth on ashes. A deceived heart hath turned him aside, that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, is there not a lie in my right hand? Remember these, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant. I have formed thee. Thou art
Once
my
again,
servant.
remember this, O Jacob and Israel, for you are my servant. I fashioned you to be my servant. The Most High God fashioned us to be his servant. So when you read that, how do you walk away and do anything else besides this? I still don't understand that. I know everybody's walk with God is their walk with the Most High. But how do you justify walking away when the Most High God told you, I've designed you to be my servant? A servant's job is to do what? To serve. So we have a service to do to the Almighty. We have a service to do, and that's to wake his people up, because he took that coat and that wool from off our eyes. The heart that don't comprehend, he gave us the comprehending heart. And you just forget it and give up on everything now? Why? Because things didn't go your way? I don't care how bad things get, I'll never turn my back on Israel. Of course people fall out. Of course things can be better. But these are your people, and you were fashioned to be a servant of the Almighty. That means you never stop serving the Most High God. Because there are people out there that's really, truly searching. And I pray that when the time is right, the Most High God opens up their heart. Read.
Thou art my servant, O Israel. Thou shalt not be forgotten of me. I have blotted out as a thick cloud thy transgressions, and as a cloud thy sins return unto me. For I have redeemed thee. Sing, O ye heavens, for the Lord has done it. Mm-hmm. Shout, ye lower parts of the earth. Break forth into singing, ye mountains, O forest, and every tree therein. For Jehovah hath redeemed Jacob, and glorified him in himself in
Israel. Sing. It's telling the mountains to sing. It's telling us to sing. Why? Because the light at the end of the tunnel is what? That the Most High God have redeemed and will redeem the nation of Israel. That's the beauty. That's what we're doing this for. This is our redemption song. Bob Marley had a bad redemption song. I love it and I sing it. But this is our redemption song. When the Most High says he will glorify himself in Israel, he will glorify himself in his people. Because he will put his people in position that everyone will say and every knee will bow, let us go to the house of Jacob. We will get put in that position. So sing aloud on these holy days. Sing aloud on Shabbat. Sing aloud. Say Happy New Year to one another when our new moon comes and our beat first comes in. Don't be too tired, because now I brought this chapter 2 because I was speaking about too tired to do works. We have to do works, because now is the time where we have to start removing comments or leavening from our house. So let's not give our strength to our job and then we're not able to come home and perform that commandment that the Most High God have commanded. You have to dig deep, because it's a commandment of the Most High God. That's what the Most High God was accusing of us, saying we were worried by him. We didn't even mention him. We didn't even consider. We were too tired. We found it burdensome to do his sacrifices. Family, praying that you got something out of this. This is our redemption song. The beauty in this, in the talking and making us bethink ourselves, that the Most High God is so loving, and this is so timely during this time, because in a couple of days, it's the beginning of the month, the beginning of the year for us, and then after that, it's our Independence Day, where the Most High God redeemed us, and it says right here, he will redeem us and glorify himself in the nation of Israel. That's why this portion was so appropriate for this time, because it's redemption. This is the season of redemption. Redeem yourself with the Almighty God. Redeem yourself with your spouse. Redeem yourself, children, with your parents. If you did something wrong, your children, parents, redeem yourself with them. Redeem yourself, brother to brother, sister to sister, sister to brother, brother to sister. Redeem ourselves, because this is the season of redemption. And after that, let's walk in that redemption. Let's walk in that redemption towards the Almighty, because first we have to redeem ourselves to him. But let's redeem ourselves and walk in that redemption, brother to brother, like I said, sister to sister, brother to sister, sister to brother, parents to children, children to parents. What time is it? Like we always say, nation time. That's the time. But no longer can we say it's nation time. Well, what time is it nation time? What time is it to rise and shine? What time is it for the time has come? What time is it nation time? What time is it to rise and shine? What time is it for the light has come? What light? The Israelites. But we cannot say this without works and things being put forth and seen. A little movement is better than no movement at all. That's why I understand why Chief Prince say, they used to say back in the day, it's not our job to ask why. It's not our job to do or die. Because that made soldiers. Because they knew that their loyalty was to God and to whatever that position is that they held. We have to get back into that, and we can, because the Most High God said He's going to redeem us. We've seen now because we're getting ready to be reminded of the greatest redemption ever. And the Most High God is going to redeem us again. Family, praying that you all got something out of this. Continue to walk with the Almighty. Continue to keep up the good work. Continue to keep up the teachings that's needed. Continue to work with those children. Also, it slipped my mind, I'm going to have to call him and let him know too, in case he don't hear this. Chief Captain Hebron, you did a beautiful job. That lesson that you taught this Shabbat, it was a heck of a lesson, and I thank God for it because you're able to feed off your brother. You don't speak much, but when you speak, it's always powerful, brother. And I thank the Most High God for that. Once again, thank the Most High God just for being God. If I said anything wrong, please forgive me. It's of my fault and not of the perfect words of the Most High God. If you're in the Brooklyn area, you can go to 297 Saratoga Avenue between Dean and Pacific. That's 297 Saratoga Avenue between Dean and Pacific. You can find Shema Yisrael on Facebook. You can find Shema Yisrael HIC on YouTube. We have Torah services on Shabbat. We have the Erev Shabbat service, which comes in Friday night. We have New Moon services that's done by myself and other brothers that will be doing it in the future, I'm sure. We have the Hebrew Wayikra-HE and other things that he do. And I know it's usually done on Thursdays, but because of my schedule, I have to do it when I can. And I still have to make time for the Most High God. I can't say just the heck with it because of my schedule. Oh, well, if you can't do it on Thursday, you switch up the days and I do it when I can. And I thank the Most High God for that. I thank the Most High God for everybody that's walking in truth. Asking once again that the Most High God watch over the leadership of Shema Yisrael. Ask that the Most High God watch over Chief Prince of Port Bays of Whom. For it's not an easy job to be a leader. Sometimes we have to make a tough call and it gets to the point where people don't like you. But you may lose men, but always keep God next to you. Praying that you all got something out of this, family. You can reach out to me. I'm not on Facebook right now until I'm finished, this program that I'm in. But my number is 347-526-7820. I give my number because I have nothing to hide. When I had a Facebook account, it was open to the world. I have nothing to hide. So you can reach out. We can discuss scripture. You can email Shema Yisrael. I also want to give respect to them because they do a great job at answering emails and even on Shabbat answering questions that may arise. So praying that every house be blessed in the nation of Israel. We're going to close out with a prayer. Hallelujah.
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 To the God of Abraham, to the God of Isaac, to the God of Jacob, to the Most High King, to thee should give all honor and praise to. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
To Jehovah for waking us up this morning and allowing us to see another completion of another day. For there are those who did not wake up today. Please bless my Abba and his teachings. Please bless him as he tries to lead this household. Please be with the nation of Israel in all four corners of the earth, near and far. Please bless my emote and tell Jehovah for their lives. Please bless my siblings, Most High, and watch after them. Please guide me and protect me. Hallelujah.
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 Amen.
Amen.